Alrighty. I'm setting up, guys. One moment. Alright. I'm sure you can hear me just fine. Sorry I'm a bit late today. That's my bad. Once you get starting to edit and things, time gets a little carried away on the editing. But nevertheless, here we are. Okay, I'm just setting up my secondary phone. All right. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Hey, Mike, I'm good. I'm just setting up. How are you doing? Oh my gosh. Well, remember, this is a family-friendly show, but that did make me giggle, I can't lie. Okay. So today we are getting into the slap and run. Oh, let me get my eraser. Uh-oh. That's not good, guys. Now, I had just found an eraser, but... Oh, here it is. Okay, good. Looking for stuff is so fun. Okay, here I come. Let me point the camera upward just a bit. Okay. So let's get our parking lot over here. And that's about what we'll discuss. Oh, let me turn this volume down. During the live today. So the topic is steel with protection. Oops. Okay, let's see if I can do double mic. So today we're discussing the steel with protection. Okay. Darn it, that glare. Let me see if I can get rid of that glare, guys. Hang on one second. I actually I'm in the market for they have whiteboard it's called matte whiteboard, but I haven't found it easily accessible. So I'm still searching for that. So I don't have to do all this rigging. But, welcome. I don't speak that language, but it is pretty. Okay, I'm just trying to get rid of the glare. That's what's crooked. The board is crooked. Okay. Do you guys see a glare now or no? Don't mind Mike in the comments. And if there's any mommies out there, let him know. Okay. Okay, so steel with protection. Now we're starting here. So we have the base runner. So let's go in our parking lot. 1. Base runner, parking lot. 1. Base runner from oh, I could brush my hair on the back. Oh, I could brush my hair on the back. So we're going to have a base runner going from first. For number 1. And then we'll talk about a base runner stealing from second. And then we'll talk about with 0 to 1 outs. Now remember, you want to execute this play with 0 to 1 outs. Usually that's with a steal. Okay, you can do this with 2 outs, although you may run into some problems there, depending on the defense. Okay, and then finally, and I'll put this in green. We're going to assign the green light group, okay? So green light group. Green light group. All right. So with that being said, let's get started. There's a really good example on my page in regards to this play. Oh. Let's go with black. Guys, pick a color, any color. Okay, we'll start with black. Hey, Bob James, welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. So I'll put that here. And today we're talking about the steal with protection. Okay, so this page is all about baseball and softball. Can you hear me okay, Mike? Let me know. All right, and our topic today, let's get red. If you're a player, you definitely want that green light, okay? We're talking about the steal with protection. All right? So the steal with protection, our first topic is going to be your base runner at first base. So we'll use stars for this. Your batter is going to swing over the top of the ball, okay? Like I said, there's a really good example. Hey, Arzier, welcome. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this page is all about baseball and softball. So you're welcome to learn a bit about something new, or if you already know all about this, then tune in, because I am probably one of the most knowledgeable coaches on the internet. I'm just saying, especially in softball, I have over 100,000 hours. So yeah. And mostly my content is directed towards coaches, but it can be beneficial for players also. And if you are a player listening or run into this content, then let your coaches know. All right. So here we're talking about number 1, the base runner from first. All right. So let's put that over here. Let's go red, white, and blue. Steal with protection. Base runner at first. At first base. It's important you know the difference, because your batter is going to be doing something different if there's a base runner at first base versus a base runner at second base, okay? So remember, from first base, and if here's the field, I'll draw it. Okay, here's the field. You have second base, first base, third base, and home plate, okay? So, with the runner at first base, your batter is going to do something way different. Whoa. Hey, Clinton, welcome. With the runner at first base, your batter is going to swing on top of the ball, okay? So swing over the ball. And you'll see with the runner at second base, it's quite different. So let's continue on with that. So subtopic number 2 is you want your runners always to leave a little early. That's the runner stealing. Not a lot early, just a little. And it's a straight steal, so you're not going to take a peek, okay? No peek. Also, I would advise them to slide. Runner must slide, okay? Unless it's an overthrow or something of that nature. So let's go ahead and put that tip there. This color is so pretty. So let's say runner. Oh, that's the wrong color. Let's just say must slide, okay? Any good games? I know the World Series is coming up soon. Must slide. All right. It's not easy to practice sliding during your practice, but you can do it. Make sure your players are going 100%. Hang on, let me fix my light here. Because if they slow down, and I know from personal experience, I won't tell any stories, right? Hang on, guys, I just moved the camera, dang it. I won't tell any personal stories, but you can get injured pretty bad if you slow down right before you slide. Hello, Ollie Reed. This is all about baseball and softball. So you're welcome to stay if you're interested in that, or you can learn something new today. But my page caters to coaches who coach baseball and softball players, or, of course, the players and parents and players listening or watching could benefit too, due to the nature of the content. All right. And today we're talking about the steal with protection. All right. So the steal, not only that, but with protection. So that means your batter and your runner are in sync, kind of, okay? All right. So let's keep going on the next topic. Oh, darn, I might have to get my spray, guys, because this is looking ratchet. Yeah, let me get my spray. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay. There we are. This will be much better. Are you guys home from work today? Are you having a lunch break or what? Or do you guys work online? What's your story? Also, are you involved in baseball and softball any? Let me know, chat. Is that what the kids are saying, chat? I like it. It's functional. Okay. So moving forward, remember this is a page all about, where's that color I love? Okay. So again, this page is all about baseball and softball. I do have other interests. And I was saying, hello, Asher, welcome. I was saying this page is all about baseball and softball. And I was saying during my last live that it's difficult to be a baseball and softball coach if you're not like in like college level or major league or minor league, like doing it 100%, is you kind of have to work two jobs, which I think is a little bit unfair, but that's how it is. And if you do get good enough, you can, generate lots of income from lessons. And I just posted actually a story about how kids or whoever growing up, it's good to get those one-on-one private lessons because of the enrichment. Okay? So in the comments, leave me a message about a time where you had to take private lessons or you wanted to, right? And that's even a private tutor for school. Anything one-on-one is considered like a private lesson, okay? Okay, so baseball and softball. And our topic today, I was saying I love this green color with this purple. It's kind of Halloween and ghoulish, which is lovely. And we are talking about the steel with protection, okay? Let's see how that looks. Asher, are you still there? What do you do for work? Let me know. Okay, the steel with protection. So our second topic, we're going to discuss the runner stealing from second base, okay? So here's our subtopic. This is our topic. Our subtopic is runner stealing from second. And of course, that SEC, from second base. So with your runner stealing from second, this gets a little tricky and fun. And you'll show your players this method of how to bunt over top of the ball. So with that being said, your hitter will bunt over top of the ball. Okay? So your hitter is going to bunt over top of the ball. Now remember in the strike zone, I'm going to give you a little bit of a diagram here. But the strike zone is 9. It's 9 spots, okay? So and this is the first thing when I'm getting private lessons. This is the first thing I do with my hitters, okay? I show them this diagram. And actually, let's put here at the end, I will talk about giving private lessons. I actually do coach people on how to do that, private lessons. Okay, and like I said, you can end up making a very good living at $60 an hour plus, depending on what you're teaching. But so this is going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is your strike zone. Now, if your hitter is bunting over the top, keep this in mind, okay? And remember, this is the chest, the armpits is where it starts. Oops. armpits to the kneecaps. Okay? So armpits to the kneecaps. Anything outside of this area, really, a ball in the dirt, they can lay off of that, okay? Except the ball in the dirt. So let's put unless ball in the dirt. Okay? So why is the hitter doing that, folks? Why does the hitter need to bunt over top of the ball? Okay, because remember, if this is your field, here, your third baseman, and remember you have a runner here, you have a third baseman here, okay? Your runner is going to be stealing because this is the steal with protection. We want to get them busy, okay? So in the worst case scenario, because this is going to be last minute, this needs to be done on the first pitch. Hey, Dustin, welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. So if you're into that, welcome. If not, stick around and learn something new. It is almost the World Series after all. Okay, so instead of relying here, because this is so easy for your third baseman just to cut over, let's draw them in with a fake bunt, okay? And force this, and then we have a foot chase, okay? We have a foot chase here, and that gets exciting, all right? Hey, Real Thoughtful, welcome. I was just saying that this is a page all about baseball and softball. And right now, I was actually just showing a diagram, but hey, Allison, welcome. Right now, the topic is steal with protection, okay? So in baseball and softball, if you have a runner stealing, you want to distract your infielders from, making an easy out. So that is the topic right now. And you might see that in some of the games that you watch, okay? And lastly, for this, you want your runner to leave a little bit early. And what do you think you want them doing at third base if it's a close play? Remember, a little early, okay? If it's a close play, you want them sliding, guys, okay? Please have them slide. We're going to slide at third, okay? That's third base. All right? Very important. So the only caveat here, and caveat is a little bit different from the norm, but you want your hitter bunting over the top unless we can erase that. That looks confusing. You know what? This eraser ain't good. You want your hitter bunting over top of the ball so it looks very convincing unless the ball is in the dirt, okay? Ball in the dirt. Unless the ball is in the dirt, okay? Why? Because if the ball is in the dirt, don't go after that ball as a hitter and get a strike called on you. You know the catcher is going to have a hard time with that. So we'll leave that alone, okay? So that is the second topic that we said we were going to discuss. The first topic was the base runner from first, and that we just covered was the base runner from second, okay? So now let's talk about a very important point, which is the number of outs that you have, okay? Sometimes it's overlooked by coaches, but that is quite crucial. And of course, the score. Okay, what's the score? And that does go back to my analogy of gas in the gas tank. And that is an analogy that I spoke about a little bit about in one of my last lives. I'm not sure when, but there might be a clip of that on my page. I don't know. But the whole gist of gas in the gas tank analogy is if you have lots of gas in the tank, you're probably going to go further. As if you have a lot of runs and you're winning, you'll likely be more aggressive on the bases. Whereas if you have an empty tank of gas or a little bit of gas, you're probably not going to drive that far. Okay? So that's the analogy. With that, we'll go into the runners. I mean, how many outs there are. Okay? Now remember, this is a page all about baseball and softball. And I'll put that up here. If you don't know about baseball and softball, stick around and you may learn something new. And maybe you'll get into the pastime of baseball. It is a great American sport. So baseball, and luckily for women, recently, we have the ability as college athletes and I believe pro athletes to get, sponsored for upwards of 7 figures. So, which is really great. So people are making $1 million. I mean, that's really, really good for women athletics. Not only that, but there has been more support from the MLB with the women's professional league, which is fantastic. Okay. So good for them. And we'll keep up the good fight here with the kids and teaching them how they can make that $1 million someday. So in my mind, I would say parents and coaches would likely want to teach their kids baseball and softball because of these new things going on in the game. Has anyone heard of that or no? Green light group. Okay, that's going to be our 4th topic. Very important. Hello, let's go Lolo. Welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. And right now I'm talking about a steal with protection. Okay. So let me write that up here because I didn't. So that would be, we're stealing. Okay. With protection. Right? Hey, Milson, welcome. I was just saying this is a page all about baseball and softball. So stick around and maybe learn something new if you're not interested in this already. Hello, Mike is back. Oh, a new Mike. Okay. Welcome, Mike number 2. So the steal with protection. Let's use a star for this. So steal with protection. We've already talked about a base runner going from first to second, the batter's role in that, and a base runner from second to third, the batter's role. Okay, so let me just put that here. The batter up, and it's roll with an E, not an LL. Now, for someone that went to Alabama, which I did, I might want to do a play words and say roll tide, but I will not do that. Okay, so steal with protection. We are on our 3rd point, which is how many outs, okay? So let's go a big dot, 0 to 1 outs. Can we do this with 2 outs? Sure. Okay. Sure we can. All right. But remember, who's going to be calling the sign is your coaches. So if you're a player listening or a parent, tell your coaches to tune in. And I am an expert because I have so many hours doing coaching softball and coaching players. So I am an expert, and I would love to spread the good word of how to teach kids how to play softball and get them active, right? So 0 to 1 outs. Actually, let's do a star here, a little star. So with 0 to 1 outs, you're green light, okay? So coach calls this play with 0 to 1 outs. Guys, if you're a coach and you're just letting your team, no matter if they're from toddlers all the way up to 18, or even if you're a college coach, if your players are getting on base and you're not calling plays, you're just letting them hit away, when there's 0 to 1 outs, you're leaving runs on base, okay? If there's 0 to 1 outs, you need to be calling a play. And, unless you have your 3, 4, 5 hitters up. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about your lineup. But if you have so let's look at the lineup, okay? So your lineup. If you have hitters 1, 2, 3, usually you have 9. And this really makes a big difference. Sometimes in the summer ball leagues and things like that, you can do a 10th hitter, or I suggest to keep it your best 9 because you're going to get the most results out of that. Even though you want to get people playing, I understand that, but you want to win as well, okay? Hey, Kalei, welcome. This is a live all about baseball and softball. So stay and learn something new, or don't, that's okay. But we're talking about the steal with protection. And furthermore, we're here at number 3, and how many outs what you should be doing when there's 0 to 1 outs versus 2 outs, okay? Hello, Manuel, welcome. All right, so here's your lineup. If you're the coach making a lineup, or if you're a hitter, know your role, okay? That's a very good one. So I'll put that here in the parking lot to touch on, okay? So our extras is private lessons, which you can make a good living on that. You don't have to have any experience to get into it. I would give yourself a year to start coaching though, okay? Before you take on private lessons. So know your role. For the players, and I'm going to put here, players, know your role when it comes to the lineup. Coaches, this is when you're going to be calling, know who's up and what you should call, okay? So what plays to call? So it is a lot of things intersecting. So with this being said, let's say you have 0 to 1 outs. I was saying if you have 0 to 1 outs and you're not making any kind of calls for your players, you're leaving runs on base, unless it's like your 3, 4, 5 hitters, which they're going to, probably get a base hit. With a runner at first base, 0 to 1 outs, there's no excuse, no matter who's up. If the score is close, you better bunt that girl over, okay, with 0 to 1 outs. Trust me on that, okay? So here you want to go speed. This is a very good nugget, guys. Speed, speed. Power, 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 okay? So it's going to be like that all through. You're going to use this pattern all the way till you get to 9. So you're going to go speed, power, speed. If you can do this, and you guys have to have the players for this, okay? But my point being, if you have 0 to 1 outs, if you have 0 outs, you're bunting every single time, okay? Bunting. So get that short game, get them frazzled. When you create this energy and momentum on the field, you're going to get the momentum on the offense, and you rip it right from the defense, okay? If they're defending you, they're fending you off. Okay, so put pressure on the defense by calling this the short ball, okay? Bunting or small ball. Now this lineup here was taught to me by Marty Cooper, and he is a very renowned coach in the softball world. He started something called Triple Crown, which became very popular, and basically he, kind of pioneered these tournaments where college coaches come and watch players. And so really he's an outstanding coach, and he started as a dad, just like many coaches do, but he loved it and he became really top of the game. Okay. And he ended up selling that Triple Crown name for millions. So good for him. But he did work 2 jobs. I think he was a firefighter during that time. So just know that if you're doing this, it's going to be a lot of work. Okay. All right. So this is the formula: speed, speed, power, power, power. Okay. And then you want to go speed, power, power, speed. Right. So you can see how this really works. You get your 2 players on. You get your 2 players with speed to get on base. Let's say they're at first and second. Or batter number 1 gets on first base. Batter number 2 lays a bunt down. In the best case scenario, that number 2 batter is going to be so fast. Now you have players at first and second. Okay. Here, you're going to put your best hitter right here, number 3. Okay. Your best power hitter, number 3. And that player is going to hit them in. And hey, you have the option also to bunt that girl, because guess what? You have no outs. Okay. You can even bunt her. Then guess what? You still have power, power back to back. All right. So this is a great strategy. I believe a lot of coaches, they don't know how to really, I didn't. I had to be taught that as a coach. As a player, I didn't know there was any kind of, hey, Chewy, welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. Right now we're talking about 0 to 1 outs in the short game. But so if you'd like to stick around, please do, and maybe learn something new. But with that being said, and here's a lineup that's really going to work in your favor to generate runs. Okay? So this can work with 2 outs, the steal with protection. It can work with 2 outs, depending on how good or bad your defense is, okay? It can work with 2 outs for sure. And if you notice the corners are very deep, okay? And you have this kid up, number 9, that has speed, or number 1 or 2, or here at 6. Hey, user 13, welcome. If you notice those kids are up and you have 2 outs, have them bunt, okay? And we have a drag bunt. It's a little bit different. All right. So moving on, I'm actually going to leave this lineup up. Let's move on to the green light group, okay? So good job. Hey, Grace, welcome. Good job if you're still with me. Like I said, I have over 100,000 hours coaching softball specifically. And I could beg to say that maybe I know the most out of all the folks on the internet, or at least TikTok, about coaching softball and how to get coaches to coach well and get those players listening, okay? That may seem confident, but I do have the time and knowledge to back it up, all right? So make sure if you're talking game, you've got the proof, all right? So with that being said, hey, Lucy, welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. So please stick around and learn something new. If not, that's fine. But the World Series is coming up, so it wouldn't be so out of the ordinary to learn about baseball a little bit. Maybe your partner watches baseball or softball. All right. So today our topic is the steal with protection. So steal with protection. All right. So with that, let's go into the green light group. And for this, I will use green. And over here, this is our light bulb area. Sadly, they don't have a yellow in the expo markers, but I'll make it orange. That's closest. So here's our light bulb area. Because we had a light bulb moment. Okay? I think there's a little thing in here like that. Hey, Juan, welcome. Okay, so steal with protection. We're at the green light group. Let's go. So green light group, let's give them a big star. As a baseball, as any kind of coach in athletics, green light group, okay? You want to get speed, all right? It's very difficult to teach speed. Since most people are born with that, you can teach speed, don't get me wrong. But it is, if you find a player that has natural speed, even if they've never really even played the game, teach them how to play, teach them how to catch and throw and hit. Or if you're, a basketball coach or whatever, soccer, if you see, a player running or a kid running, you say, wow, they have just natural speed. Talk to their parents and have them get on the team, because you actually can't, teach speed as easily as you can teach something like fielding a ground ball or hitting a fastball. So be on the lookout, because as a coach, you definitely want to be able to recruit new talent, and you could change someone's life, You never know what good can come of your duties. All right. So with the green light group, a coach, so the green light group, this is really great. So your coach, if you're a coach, that's fine. If not, if you're a player or a parent, let your coaches know. Hey, it's Medith. Welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. So stick around to learn more about that, unless maybe you do already know all about that. So your coach is going to designate or assign a group of players of a group of fastest players on the team. Okay? So basically this group, the green light group, hey Marty, welcome. This is a page all about baseball and softball. Right now we're talking about the steal with protection. And here's the parking lot if you want to catch up. We're down here at the green light group. So this green light group is going to be able to run when they want. So they're going to have the green light to run, bunt, slap, and be creative on the bases without your coach's permission, okay? All right. This is huge, guys. If you are a coach listening for baseball or softball, this is going to change the dynamics on your team and also give your players a sense of responsibility, okay? Not only will this group of players feel really special, okay, but it's going to make the other players that are not on this green light group, now they want to be in a special group just like this green light group, okay? So they're going to work harder and they're going to try to get fast because speed is the name of the game in sports. No matter how much power you have, if you have speed, well, don't get me wrong, someone like, you know, these famous baseball guys, what's the guy's name? Guys, in the comments, put a famous baseball player that is just brutally strong, Barry Bonds, okay? That guy, he doesn't really need speed because he just hits the thing out of the park, okay? But with the exception of these few blue chip players that are just going to hit bombs, speed is the name of the game, okay? So speed is the name of the game. Welcome, Jay Quinn. This is a page all about baseball and softball. Right now I'm talking about the green light group, how with stealing, if you're a coach or a player, that's fine. You want to assign a group. It's probably going to be less than 5-ish or about there and they can go when they want. All right. They can run, bunt, slap, and be creative on the bases without the coach. Hey, Mama Do, welcome. All right. So the green light group, they can be creative. Probably. And just because look how I set this lineup up. Okay. Speed, speed, power, power, power. Speed, power, power, speed. Now, if you're thinking how I'm thinking, and let's put a G by each green light girl, okay? So here, this is probably going to be a green light player, because it could be boys too, okay? G, green light player. Probably 3, 4, 5. One of these players is going to have speed too. And you kind of get these players that have speed and power, and you just want 9 of those, of course, as a coach. Okay, so maybe you'll get 1 here, but you're definitely going to have a green light girl there and a green light girl here. So just already, you haven't even gotten to your players on the bench. You have 4 players, boys or girls, it is either one, that already have that green light. Okay, this is probably your most important point, is that, and as a coach, you want to take control of the right things. Sometimes as coaches, we get caught up in the wrong stuff, but organization is first, okay? And this is a big part of your organization. Now, I learned this method from Patrick Murphy. He's over at the University of Alabama. Like I said, guys, I've been coached by a coach and coached as a coach by the best coaches in the whole nation, in the world, okay? So take it from me, get this green light group going. All right, and we'll go from there. Now, remember, you also probably have people on the bench. So let's say bench. You always want to make sure you have a green light girl on the bench, at least, okay? You want 1 fast player and 1 pinch hitter there on the bench that you can call from at any time. And they know that that's their role. They know that's their role in the team. They're going to sit on the bench unless they're running, unless they're hitting. Okay? So you want someone with power and you want someone with speed on the bench. You probably do have a couple pitchers there, or 1 or 2 pitchers, because you have to have an extra of that. Also here, let me clip this. Also here, a lot of coaches will have 10 people in their lineup because one is a DP, which is, or an EP, an extra player. So your pitcher doesn't really hit because you want to save them just to pitch, and you have that extra hitter. Of course, that depends on the tournament, the league, and just other things. But yeah, so with that being said, that's our seal with protection, and we're done with the green light group. So let's talk a little bit about private lessons, okay? Now, what do you guys do for work? I know there aren't many jobs where you can get paid, you know, $60 an hour and have fun doing it. And really, you make your own schedule at that point. You're going to make your own schedule when you're giving lessons. And there was a time when I was very actively giving lessons, and you can, you know, work your 9 to 5 or whatever. And then because from 5 to 9, pretty much, you're going to be giving private lessons. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 5 hours times $60. I mean, that's pretty good money. You can do that twice a week. Okay. So remember, this is a page all about baseball and softball. And we've already covered the steal with protection. Now we're all the way down here at private lessons. Okay? So with private lessons, let's use red to get your attention. If you're still with me, thank you. And just write a comment saying hi so I know who to give credit to. So private, P-R-I-V-A-T-E, lessons. As for players, it's super beneficial. Hey, my lady, how are you? I'm wondering, what is that 9 with a triangle right by your name? I'm actually kind of new to going live. So, yeah, what does that mean? I keep seeing that triangle by people's name. Let me know if it doesn't inconvenience you. All right. So giving private lessons to baseball and softball players, you can do a few things. Okay. You can do hitting. So let's say hitters. That's probably that's a really good niche right there. Because if you hit, you play. Okay. You can do pitching. You're going to have to learn a lot more to work with pitchers, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, give yourself 1 year of coaching before you get into this, because you don't want to rip anyone off, guys. People will know very quickly that if you're a legit coach or not. So 1 year of coaching before privates, okay? If you can read that. So give yourself 1 year of coaching before you do private lessons, all right? You can't just start doing private lessons. Go to your local rec ball. You know, if you're getting interested in this, go to your rec ball, your city league, and sign up to be a coach. You can't have any felonies or anything like that, but that's okay because they will fingerprint you. And sign up to be a coach there. Hey, Jax06, welcome. This is all about baseball and softball. We are just getting done with the steal with protection. And now we're talking about giving private lessons, kind of earning money. Okay? So giving those private lessons, you will earn a pretty decent income. All right? So give yourself a year, go to your rec ball league, and go from there. You can also do defense. And lastly, you can do speed and agility. Or nutrition. Okay? That I wouldn't know. This might tie in with this. And you can actually get a college degree in that. I might say take that out of there, but yeah, let's go ahead and end it with speed and agility, because nutrition, now we're talking about possibly getting, I want you guys to be able to not need to go spend $100,000 on a college education and be able to go, like I said, go help out your local city league team And for a year, get a couple seasons in there and start your private lessons. I have worked, when I was coaching, I coached kids that now their parents, I mean, this was years ago, but now their parents give private lessons. Usually the father does it because they've learned so much watching their kids, and they had private lessons for their kids. And one of the guys, his name is Andre. He's great. He now gives private lessons. So good for him. He loved it. And, he's very into it. His kids don't even play anymore. And he is very big in the South Florida softball scene. So good for him. And it can be done, okay? So you can work with hitters, pitchers, defense, or speed and agility. I would say the go-to niche is right here, is hitting. Because like I said, if you hit, you play, all right? So hitters, that's your kind of gold mine yet to say. Pitchers, listen, if you have the courage to go out and learn fast pitch pitching, do it, because we need more pitchers in softball. There are never enough, especially in the lower leagues. So definitely do it. That would be your second thing. Hey, Laura, welcome. So pitchers would be your second thing to do, okay? Defense, that's easy. Speed and agility, yeah. But people pay premium bucks for this and this, okay? And we need more of this. Need more pitchers in the sport, okay? Obviously, those folks are going to have a certain body type. And I mean, hey, I'm not the tallest or biggest player, but I was a pitcher and I was effective all the way through, high school. So, and one state's doing that. So anyone can do it. You just have to have, hey, DNA, welcome. Hey, Johanna Gomez, welcome. I'm just talking about private lessons and how to make a living doing that. But this is all about baseball and softball. And we were talking about stealing with protection all day, all right? So we have one more topic, and that's know your role. And then you guys can go and have lunch or whatever it is you do during the day. So yeah, let me know if you are interested in giving private lessons. And I can tell you more about how to do that, okay? And yes, in the sport overall, we need more pitchers, if anything. Because, hey, people don't want to put that effort in. It's every day you have to do it. But some people do. And, of course, you got to have good support at home for mom and dad to be doing pitching because they need to catch you just a lot. Okay, we'll finish off with orange. So know your role. Now, this can apply across disciplines, which means you can apply this methodology at baseball and softball, soccer, at your workplace, if you're a parent. Okay, so everyone has a role, usually. So know your role. And more so in this case, we're going to talk about these different, know your role in the lineup, okay? In this case, we're talking about the hitting lineup. If you are a manager at your workplace, you want all of your workers to know their role, okay? That keeps things running smoothly, and you don't really have any big headaches with that, okay? So know your role. Hey, Ramirez, welcome. So know your role with the lineup is today what we're talking about for baseball and softball, okay? So we're talking about the lineup. Now, if you have your runners and draw your attention here, this is your lineup. Number 1 and 2, you have speed, okay? So 1 and 2, they know their role is to get on base, okay? So know your role and shut your hole. That's what I was taught, okay? So 1 and 2, they know, get on base. Power, they know. Let's get rid of that. What do you think they're going to do? Your power in the 3, 4, 5 hole. So they know to get on base. These two guys, they know. Hey, Ray, welcome. How are you? We are just getting to the end of this live, but we did have a productive session today talking. We are just getting to the end of this live, but we did have a productive session today talking about. Hang on one second. Am I still live? I don't know. Okay. So number batters 1 and 2, their job is to get on base. Okay, this says power, power. Their job is to get on base. Well, guess what? These guys, their job is to hit them in. Okay? They know that they're getting base hits. Okay, so RBIs. All right? Hello, welcome. Lori White, and this is all about baseball and softball. I'm just finishing up here. Again, your 6 hole. Likely, what we're planning here is speed gets on, sacrifice bunt, then you have 1 out, okay? Let's say base hit, runner at first and third. Let's say your 4-hitter gets out, that's 2 outs. Let's say 3 outs. So here, you're going to be starting a new inning, okay? So this is around the start of a new inning, and then boom, you got speed again. All right. So with that being said, guess what? 6, you're getting on base is your role. Okay. Get on base. Don't hit it out of the park. You can, that'd be great, but power, power, hit them in. Okay. RBIs. A lot of times, and you even see this in the big leagues too, they leave runners on base. Okay. With this pattern, rarely will you leave runners on base. Okay. And in the worst case scenario, you have a quick 1, 2, 3 outs. You're going to start the inning, the next inning with speed. Okay. And their job is to what? Get on base. Okay. And if not, you're going speed, speed again. So you have 3 speeds in a row, right? Some coaches may say, oh, the worst batter goes to the 9 hole. Not necessarily, okay? The 9 hole is a great spot because the other team is underestimating you. I would have loved, okay, put me in the 9 hole. They're going to underestimate you. Definitely want to make sure you get, as a coach, you get speed in that 9 hole, okay? And of course, their job here in the 9 hole is to get on base, all right? So you got 2 jobs as a hitter. You're either getting on base or you're getting RBIs, which RBI is run batted in, okay? So RBI equals runs batted in. Oops, I hate when that happens. Run batted in. All right? So you got 2 jobs in the lineup. You're either getting on base or you're hitting base runners in. Okay? Keep it simple and very good live. Thank you so much for coming, and I will talk to you soon.